Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Excellence here. We're talking AEW All In this Saturday. Let's get into my predictions. First, we have the Proto Star, Kyle Fletcher versus Adam Cole. Bye bye. Um, for me, I'm a fan of both of these guys. Adam Cole, I've been a fan since Ring of Honor and PWG. Kyle, I don't know. I found through Japan and Osprey, United Empire, Aussie Open and stuff. But nah, really, like Kyle has risen to another level, and he's shown and proven his worth and work in the ring, especially on the mic too. Um, so I think it's time we get a new TNT champion. I don't think it's completely out of the realm of possibility. This way, you can easily book Kyle to fight Kyle O'Reilly. You can have him fight Roddy. You can have him fight Cole again. You can have him fight Garcia. You can have him fight Mark Briscoe. You can have him fight the members of the Ops. You can have him fight all these guys and build up his catalog and build up his name to actually be a main event guy eventually. For now, you give him the TNT title. I got Kyle Fletcher. The next match, this is probably one of my favorites. Um, I know the whole talk of AEW is, oh, all these ex-WWE guys, oh, this and that. Bro, Christian has elevated to another level on AEW TV, being the patriarchy, the father of professional wrestling, literally mentoring Nick Wayne, who is a bright and upcoming star in AEW right now. I know he has the Ring of Honor, I think, TV championship right now. He defends that Friday, actually, so tomorrow. But yeah, no, that should be a good match too. But no, seriously, for this match, I like Hurt Syndicate. They did just get jumped by these guys, Jet Speed. If you do not know Kevin Knight, he's from New Japan. Mike Bailey just recently signed, and you got the Patriarchy with Nick Wayne and Christian Cage. I think it's going to be more down to Jet Speed and Patriarchy. It's going to be just a normal tag match. Maybe they get replaced possibly by the Outrunners or maybe FTR, and you make this a multi-man tag match thing, multi-team thing. I think that'd be sick. But yeah, no, for this one, I don't know. Um, I like me some Christian Cage. I was pissed that he didn't cash in successfully at Revolution. Um, Personally, I want Jet Speed, but I don't know why. I feel like these guys are still somehow gonna battle through all the injury stuff and be like, yeah, we're still gonna win. So yeah, but yeah. So for this match, I got the Hurt Syndicate possibly retaining, unless that injury angle was a way for them to take the titles off them so they can have a little bit of a break. Then I'd say Jet Speed. But from my lock-in answer, we go on Hurt Syndicate. All right, y'all. So let's get into the other six matches on the card. Actually, there's going to be an additional match. They haven't made it official yet. They'll possibly make it official tonight on Collision. It is going to be the Ops versus Gabe Kidd from New Japan, member of War Dogs, with Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli. For me, I want Gabe Kidd to have a freaking title in AEW. I think this is a perfect way to bring him in, and it can kind of be more of a situation once Hangman, Swerve, and Osprey take down the Death Riders. You bring in Drilla Maloney, you bring in David Finlay, and you give them the trios belts. That's just me. All right, for the next match, we have the Women's Casino Gauntlet. I have either Megan Bayne or a returning Hikaru Shida. I don't know. I just want a shot in the dark call. That's my one shot in the dark call. For the men's, I have either a returning Darby or a shot in the dark Eddie Kingston. We have not seen Eddie Kingston since he last fought Gabe Kidd. He got injured in New Japan, has been injured since. I think he messed up his leg. He's been out ever since. But yeah, those are my picks for the respective casino gauntlets. What do you guys think of those? Do you guys think those are spot on? I don't know. Next, we have the Unified Championship match between Kazuchika Okada and Mr. Kenny Omega. Um, for this, I mean, I want to say Kenny, but at the same time, and Kenny said in interviews like he might eventually be on like a last run type of deal. So I'm not sure if they're just gonna be like, yeah, let's just go all out and give you every belt for now, and then when you're kind of ready to call it quits, we'll put you on like a full part time schedule. But at the same time, that's kind of my reasoning as to why I feel like they need to give to Okada even more. because Okada is a mainstay guy and he's been there for a good minute since they signed him, and they're paying him crazy. They're paying him, Osprey, and Mercedes. Like, those are three of the biggest names that they've signed. So, yeah. Next, we have the EVPs versus Swerve, and Will Ospreay, the lad. For this one, I think it's pretty simple. I have the Young Bucks. The only reason I'm saying the Bucks is because if Swerve and Ospreay lose, they cannot challenge for the world title for a whole year. A whole calendar year from now, they're going to be back in All In, and it is going to be in Wembley Stadium. Bro, Ospreay is from there, basically. He's from Essex, right? Um, so it's like, bro, that literally makes so much sense. You have him challenge for the title around then, because it'll be a calendar year, and then he can win the title in front of his home crowd. I think that's pretty spot on, no? And then for Swerve, I don't really know like what you do with them leading up to a full year, full calendar year from now. Um, you can give them the tag titles. But yeah, so I have the Young Bucks winning. I just think that makes the most sense. You give Ospreay his title shot within a year's calendar time in front of his home crowd, and he wins the belt. He finally gets what he's been after. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You guys agree? Next, we have Mercedes Monet. What's her name? Mercedes Omega, Mercedes Hogan, whatever you want to call her. Mercedes six belts. I think she's going for like her seventh now. Um, Honestly, I think it is more of a situation where Tony Storm wants to lose to somebody that actually embodies AEW. Mercedes is so like out there and just um I don't know, like to me she still kind of embodies what Sasha Banks was in WWE. Like I know it's not completely different character, but it's like more of like she still kind of represents what WWE was in a sense within AEW still. So it's kind of more of like, okay, I don't think it's Mercedes. Maybe like Athena, Megan Bain, Willow, Stat, somebody a little more um, established within AEW grounds, you know, as the person to beat Tony Storm. But yeah, I got Tony Storm. I don't know. I could be completely like overthinking it and just whatever, but yeah, I got Tony Storm. For the main event, it is a Texas death match between Hangman Adam Page and the leader of the Death Riders, John Moxley. Um, Now, my situation is if MJF does win the Casino Gauntlets, he could cash in during that match. It'd be a situation where he cashes in and he's the one to walk out with the belt. Maybe that's where Darby comes back. Maybe that's where Jack Perry comes back. We don't really know the full details. If Jack is still trying to be associated with the Death Riders, we're for sure going to get a lot of shenanigans. I think it is going to be a situation, though, where if these two dudes do lose to these guys, we are going to get a situation where they both come out and they help Hangman. So I think that is my pick. I think Hangman finally does it, finally wins the AEW World Championship, and we are in the era of Hangman. So yeah, that's my picks. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Later.